Hello everyone, Nadim here at TXengineWerx, and today we're going to machine the rotors on my GMC 2500. It's pulsating a little bit sometimes, and usually that means the rotors are kind of a little warped. I've never gotten these rotors machined, so I guess it's time. You don't have to machine them unless there's an issue, and you know, when I'm towing a big heavy trailer, I'm guessing, I think it happened last time I was in Colorado in the mountains. Normally I don't use brakes, but sometimes you have to. By the way, I use engine brakes if I need to, but anyway. So we're gonna take the just turn the front rotors. The rear ones are fine, or I think the rear ones are fine. I think they're fine, but we'll see. And this is the machine that we use to machine them. All right. And there's some nice dust that collects down there, which I don't know if somebody has a good use for that. I guess you know, come by. We'll hook you up. Taking the cap off. So let me show you what we're doing. So these are the rotors. They might be hot. So these are the ones that we need to turn, and you can kind of tell, like right here, it's a little different shade. So it may be that it is a little warped, but you really can't tell in the video. But my zerk fitting is like all under mud. That's no good. Gotta clean that out. Machining is done. There we go. Put the plate on there, and then we're going to mount that disc on it. And all it is a diamond tip that you spin the rotor, and it just makes sure the surface is even. And that's all it is. Nothing too fancy or complicated about it. Now you'll be able to tell if it's out of like if it's not proper, right?
Yeah, when we start cutting it,
yeah,
you'll see where the
it'll go like cut in one place.
Yeah, you'll see it'll cut and then it'll stop cutting. And it'll cut and it'll stop cutting. There
we go. So that goes counterclockwise, the opposite. So it doesn't spin loose. And I don't know what the hell that is for, but
So what the spring does, because when you're cutting this thing, it vibrates. It'll start vibrating. So what this does, it's called a chatter belt or chatter spring. These are other belts for drums or chains. Helps it so it doesn't vibrate, and you get a smooth cut. Because if you don't put this on, for one, you'll make all kinds of high-pitched squeal.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
Man, they thought of everything, huh?
Yeah. And it won't cut right.
Yeah. Awesome. I didn't know that.
Don't put that on there.
Yeah, I thought it was just a matter of putting it on there, spinning it, and then cutting it. But folks, it's a little more involved than that. There's actual science behind this now. We've taken something simple and complicated it.
Right.
But I think most of it is the noise. It probably is a shrieking, high-pitched noise without the spring, and the spring kind of dampens it out.
Yeah. Well, the noise is the vibration that you'll get.
Yeah.
And when it starts doing that, because your rotor's actually sitting there kind of fishtailing, it won't cut smooth.
I gotcha. Yeah, that's the other thing. So it probably stops that oscillation. It's kind of like what you call it, the pitchfork, or no, not a pitchfork, but a tuning fork effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Folks, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm gonna try to get a best angle as I can.
the way I was
Okay.
always taught.
So you can see how the sound, it's only cutting at a certain spot. So that means the rotor is out of round, I guess. So you can see, I don't know, yeah, you can see the line that it's creating on the rotor. It's like deeper on one side. You can kind of hear it.
It's just sitting in one place right now.
Yeah.
We won't really be able to tell until I actually start sweeping the whole
Sweeping it.
rotor.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah, you can see just that one line because it's just sitting on one spot right now. But even then, you can hear it. It's only cutting, like you can hear the.
Yeah.
So it was uneven.
The way I was always taught, just go into your rotor till it barely touches,
Yeah.
and then come out with it, because you're always gonna have some like a
Right.
rust groove that's right here where your pad doesn't hit. It's always gonna be thicker,
Yeah.
and you just try to clean up the whole rotor by hand, you know.
Gotcha.
Just run it in like this, and then we'll set it.
Yeah, but from the sound, you can really tell
See, look,
it's out. Yep, you can tell right there. And I don't know, folks, if you can see it, but you can
cut,
kind of see
cut,
it.
and
Yep.
then stopped right there about the middle, and now it's
Yeah.
not even
See, in
touching.
the picture, in the video, it's actually like a light coming on and off.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was out. So yeah, that's that kid needed it. That's the second cut already.
No, we just started.
So compared to a good rotor, how bad is it? 1 to 10. One is best, 10 is worst.
After the first cut.
Yeah.
If it's not all shiny after the first cut,
Then you need to go again.
well, yeah, you can tell how warped it is.
I mean, you can hear it. It is warped. So once they set it, I guess the machine automatically, see it moving, so it automatically comes out. So that blade is gonna cut evenly at an even pace. Not like the old days where a person has to rotate this and get that, you know, those days are gone, it's all automated. And it's cut from both sides. Oh, and I need to borrow your multimeter again. My little bike, I think the ignition switch is out. The lights are not coming on. It runs, but the lights are out. And I can wiggle it and the light will come on. I took it off. I sent the motor back in. Actually, it should be back Monday. So here's how we do it. So while that's working, Dalton's already taken the other one off, right? So for the sake of time, and that'll save us like time to do that. So we gotta wait for this to complete anyway. And yeah, that was. So do rear rotors normally don't warp because there's not really much
They
load?
will, but the difference is the front, you'll see the steering wheel shimmy. The rear, you'll feel it in like the seat of your pants.
Well,
Most of the time.
yeah, I didn't feel
Sometimes
that.
it fooled me too, and I thought for sure it was the front ended up being the rear.
Well,
Not very often.
but these were warped, so they needed it anyway, right? So
Well, it may not be this one, because that looks pretty good. don't know how much it's taking off, but so this one may be the full truck.
So, folks, you don't want to rotate, you don't want to machine your rotors if it's not needed, because you're taking a part of that metal off that could be on there, giving you more life out of the rotor, right?
I generally get about 2 brake jobs before it's gonna roll.
Oh, I've never had this done before on this, but I've never had a brake job either.
You've never taken that?
No, these are factory.
How many miles do you have?
100 and
Man, GMs they always have the best pads.
150,000. 150,000.
You still got 75% right.
But I use engine brake a lot, you know, like when I'm towing and shit. So I still got like 50,000 on that.
I mean, you still have, that's over 50%.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, shoot.
Look, they start off at 12 millimeters. Let me get my little deal.
Damn.
Right here.
So those are wearing really good.
So, 12 millimeters. This is brand new pad.
Okay.
Here, let's go over here to this one.
Well, this is interesting, folks. I wasn't anticipating this, but good to know.
So this is brand new.
Okay.
75% left. About.
Wow.
You still have 8 millimeters on that one. 50% on this one, about 75% on that one.
Wow. So these are, I mean,
But it's GM's factory pads, and I see this only on like the Yukon, like the SUVs or the pickup trucks. Not the 1500, but the 2500 pickups.
so when it's time to replace them, do we replace them with OEM just because they last long?
I generally get Centrics, but because they're more cost efficient.
Yeah, but if they last so long.
People want cost efficient.
Well, we'll see.
I mean, it's because those pads are probably $120 versus $30 pad. But my $30 pads, they don't leave any brake dust. They don't make noise. They do
Yeah, but $30 pads. How?
about 50 to 60,000 miles generally.
Yeah, and these are like 104. Yeah, I would get these. I mean,
But
shoot.
it's only on certain.
So if we
Like
get
I don't see it like on a car. All the GM cars, you don't.
not
you
on the
don't see
car,
that.
it's just on the
It's
truck.
only on the SUVs and the 2500 trucks.
So if I get OEMs next time, will they approximately last the same amount of time?
Probably
or
not.
Probably not. Probably not. So from factory, I guess they use a different material or a different
I
something.
don't know what it is.
It's like factory tires on a motorcycle. They last the
Or
longest.
Factory tires on when you first bought a truck. Remember your Michelin's lasted forever?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, I think they get the harder rubber on those to last a long time. So that was a nice surprise that my pads are doing really good. And now look at how shiny that is. It's been worked over one time, and that's just I mean, that's smooth, and he's actually touching it. That's smooth and shiny. I wouldn't do it because you never know, a little piece of shrapnel, you know.
Yeah, so these little scuffs like this, we take a air die grinder and an abrasive pad, and after you cut it, there's going to be a glaze on it. So you take that abrasive pad while it's spinning on the machine over there, and you just run it nice and smooth over it. It takes off that glaze. That way they don't make a bunch of noise and squeal. And
So that's the inside secret that you guys use. Somebody does it at home, and they're like, "Why is it squeaking, huh?"
Yeah.
So
you don't get the glaze off of them, and you can take the glaze off the pads too. You'll see. You see how it's kind of real shiny.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, what I'll do, what some old timers taught me, go on the concrete, just right over here on the rough concrete,
Just
lay
rub it?
flat, just go in a circular motion like that, and it roughs it up. Yeah.
So we're learning some secrets here,
And here's the little.
and that's
Take
the.
the glaze off.
Yeah.
While it's spinning, you just go like that.
That's it.
And it takes it off. Helps where the pads will grab a lot better and
Yeah.
no noise, anything like that.
So it wasn't like I wasn't able to stop before, but I'll be able to stop better now.
You won't be shaking out of your seat either.
Yeah, that was and you know, it's weird how sometimes it's not as bad of a shimmy, but sometimes it's really bad. I don't know why it changes.
Well, it's temperature.
Oh yeah.
When they're hotter, they just like any metal. If it's hotter, you can bend it easier. It's colder, you can't.
So if it's hotter, it's not gonna shimmy as much because it's soft.
If it's hotter,
it's gonna shimmy more.
Because it's moving, it's flexing more.
Gotcha. Yeah. And you can see that cut right there. That's where the blade's touching it. Do you know anything about what kind of blade they use in there? Is that like a diamond tip?
It's a diamond tip. They're just little triangle.
Oh yeah, like a carbide bit?
Yeah. And when they wear out, you just flip it to the next one. You get three bits out of it.
Gotcha.
Out of each one.
Yeah. So now he's doing the same trick. He's gonna take it manually back, clean off all the rust and stuff where the yep, right there. See, you can see the rust coming off. So he's cleaning all that off. And then he's gonna move it to the inside and let the machine come out by itself. So was this disc worse than the other one?
Let's see.
That one already looks worse.
No, it's actually